Allison, I'm so glad you tricked me because to be honest with you guys, I've shared before how to layer, which we're going to do here. We're just going to upload it. And I've shown you how contour is your friend. However, Allison threw me a curveball. And so it's taken me a little longer to make this video, but it's very important that you see it so that you understand the slicing tool, contour, and also how you'll layer it once you do this. So we upload like normal, 100% color tolerance, click on all the white items, and save it as a cut. Now, when you bring it into your design space, two important rules. One, if you're going to copy or duplicate it, like we did here, do not change the sizing of it. Make sure the integrity of the size stays the same for any of the copied items. So whether it's black and red and you add white or whatever colors you're going to add, make sure that you never mess the sizing up until you're finally happy with it. In this section, second thing is color coordinate it. So that way it makes it easier for you. First, we're going to work with the black one, but we're actually going to make or leave the face in. So it'll actually turn out to be white. We can do this by hitting contour under actions and clicking on everything individually, or down at the bottom, if you can see the shapes and know which one it is, you can scroll through it. I just like to click on the items. So we have the face, easy peasy. I'm going to duplicate the same red one and make it black. And remember, we are doing the blood splatter red, the cape black, and then the face white. Now, if we hit contour straight here and click on the outside layers, that's easy. It won't be there. It'll take it apart. But if we click on the middle section, look at what happens. And this is because the lines that are there from the red to the black are actually not touching. So what I mean is here, when you look at these, they're not touching. So if you do try to contour, it's actually one large image, as you saw. So this is where you're going to use any shape, it doesn't matter, to place it there and slice it out. Now, we're doing black. So what I say with that is line it up. It doesn't matter if the part that's on the outside is removed. Make sure the inside, the cape part, stays. So what I am doing here is anytime that I'm lining it up, I'm making sure that the slice is towards the outside, towards what we want to be red. And it'll make sense a little bit further. I have to do this to every single line that is the outline of the Scream guy. And here we're doing this little line. I thought I could do two at a time, but it's not, and it's fine. You can only do two images at a time, but if it's the same image, like here it was the two top loops, I guess you could call them, you could have done those two if it worked, but it's not going to work for this one because they're kind of lined differently. In this one, I'm just going to slice straight through because it'll let me do it for this angle. All right. So once I'm done doing that, now, and I delete that, I can contour. So go back to your contour under actions and click on the outsides. Now you have your outline of the cape, the face and the cape. Now we're going to do the same thing to the red, but backwards, because I don't want the outside to be disturbed. And so with that, what I'm going to do is the same technique with the shapes, but this time I'm going to cut inward, slice inward. Let me show you here. With the first shape, again, shape doesn't really matter as long as it's solid. I go in and I line it up. And now I cut. I don't care if the inside is sliced. However, I just realized that dot at the bottom, I want it. I want to keep it. So undo that. and you're gonna go in and make that square smaller, all I need is to make sure that that line slices all the way down, which it did. And I'm gonna do that to the top and to the right hand side too. That way, my mask or cape, that doesn't really matter. I don't need it anymore because I already have it in the black cut that we did already. And all I want is this red splatter on the outside. And this is going to help us achieve that. Now, it's not always like this because sometimes you already have each item divided, but this is going to work for when they're not divided. It's a little more work. To be honest with you, I think it's a 6 to 7 minute video of me doing this. And I also didn't want to go too fast, but it is going to take you longer. However, the results are awesome. And you won't have to redo this every time. You just have to do it this first time. If you wanted to make 3, 4, 5, 6 shirts, whether it's now or it's a shirt that you're going to make for Halloween, you can do so. It's just the initial design, it takes you a little while, but it's worth it. So I'm on the last little piece here. Again, remember, I don't want to disturb any of the outside dots. And there we are. Okay. So now that I've cut that off, I'm going to contour what typically would be white or black. So the inside of this design. And once I have that taken off, I just have my red splatter. Now, I can tell you, you can recreate it, and I was looking at recreating it because all you need is a splatter and then slice the Scream Guy out of it. But honestly, I wanted to show you this one because the technique of it is neat. You have to use multiple tools. And remember, there is a line separating anyways, so it lines up perfectly. Now, yes, I'm needing to line it up here on the inside. So what I would do is line up your red and send it to the back. Then you would come forward and do your lining of your black. And once you're happy with it, if you needed to size it up or down, my recommendation is once it's lined up the way you want it so that it doesn't disrupt anything in the sizing, highlight it all, group it, and then size it up or down any way you want it. Then when you go to make it, it'll already separate it by color. You slice, you have it cut, and then you layer it right on top of each other.